Hello everyone! You have learned from the previous videos on how to differentiate a quadratic equation to linear equation as well as transforming it into standard form of ax squared plus bx plus c is equal to 0. In addition with it, determining the values of the variable in a quadratic equation has also been tackled in solving quadratic equations by factoring, extracting square roots, completing the square, and quadratic formula. So now, let's move on how we characterize the roots of a quadratic equation. But before that, let's have a short review in determining the values of a, b, and c in a quadratic equation. So write the following quadratic equations in standard form and identify the values of a, b, and c. Okay. Number 1, x squared plus 4x is equal to 5. So, it is not yet written in standard form. So, in order to transform it, we need to add both sides by a negative 5. Ang right side na equation, it should be equal to 0. Okay? So, we have x squared plus 4x plus the quantity of negative 5 is equal to 5 plus the quantity of negative 5. So, 5 plus negative 5, that will become equal to 0. Okay? So, we have x squared plus 4x minus 5 is equal to 0. Therefore, we can identify now the values of a, b, and c. So, ano value natin ng a? Okay, very good. That is equal to 1. How about b? Correct, that is 4. And c? Okay, that's equal to negative 5. How about the next one? Okay, we have 4x squared minus 3x minus 6 is equal to 0. Okay, so naka-standard form na siya. So, we can now determine the values of a, b, and c. So, ano ulit ang a nito? Okay, that is equal to positive 4. Correct. How about b? Okay, that's negative 3. C, that is equal to negative 6. Okay. Next. Okay, we have here x squared minus 49 is equal to 0. So, wala tayong linear term. Okay, so, what will be the value of b kung wala tayong linear term dito? So, let's find out. So, ano value ng a? Okay, correct. That is 1. Ano value ng b? Wala. So, that will become 0. Very good. And ang value ng c, okay, that is equal to negative 49. Okay, so let's evaluate the expression b squared minus 4ac given the following values of a, b, and c. Kung maaalala natin, si b squared minus 4ac is yung radicand o ito yung nasa loob ng radical sign sa quadratic formula. Okay? So, let's start. Number 1. A is 1, B is 5, C is 4. Okay? So, ang gagawin lang is to substitute ang value ng A, B, at C sa formula na B squared minus 4AC. So, ang B natin is 5. So, we have here 5 squared. Minus 4. Ang A na 1. Ang C na 4. Okay. So, 5 squared means 5 times 5. So, 5 times 5, that is equal to 25. Minus 4 times 1, okay, that is 4. Times 4, that is equal to 16. So, we have 25 minus 16. Okay. So, 25 minus 16, that is equal to positive 9. Correct. Now, next. Number 2. A is 4, B is 4, C is 1. So, tulad ng ginawa natin sa number 1, isa-substitute lang natin yung values ng A, B, at C dito sa formula ng B squared minus 4AC. So, ang B natin ay 4. Correct. So, we have here 4 squared minus 4, okay, times A Ang A is 4 times C na 1. Okay. So, 4 squared, that is equal to 16. Correct. Minus 4 times 4. Okay, that is 16 times 1. That is also equal to 16. So, we have 16 minus 16. So, 16 minus 16, that is equal to 0. Okay, next. Number 3. A is 2, B is 0, C is 5. Okay. So, again, evaluate. Ano ang B natin? Correct, that is 0. So, we have here 0 squared minus 4 times ang A na 2. Okay? Times ang C na 5. Okay? So, 0 squared. Okay, that is equal to 0. Minus 4 times 2. That is 8 times 5. Kaya naging 40 dito. So, we have 0 minus 40. So, 0 minus 40, that is equal to negative 40. Okay. And number 4. A is equal to 1, B is equal to negative 2, C is equal to negative 2. So, evaluate ulit natin. Ano ang B? That is equal to negative 2. Correct. So, we have negative 2 squared. Minus, 4. Okay. Times ang A na 1. Times ang C na negative 2. Okay. So, evaluate. Negative 2 squared. Ibig sabihin, negative 2 times negative 2. In multiplying the same sign, or negative times negative, or positive times positive, the product is positive. Okay? So, negative 2 times negative 2, that is equal to positive 4. Correct. Next, negative 4 times 1, that is equal to negative 4. Times negative 2, okay, that is equal to positive 8. So, we have here 4 plus 8. So, 4 plus 8, the answer is 12. Okay, very good. For the objectives of our lesson, the learners will be able to, number 1, recall the quadratic equation and determine the values of A, B, and C. Number 2, evaluate the expression B squared minus 4AC given the values of A, B, and C. And number 3, use the discriminant in characterizing the roots of quadratic equations. For the most essential learning competency or MELC, we have characterizes the roots of a quadratic equation using the discriminant with a code of M9AL-IC-1. So let's now start discussing the nature of the roots of quadratic equations. The expression b squared minus 4ac is the quadratic equation's discriminant. The discriminant determines the nature of the roots of a quadratic equation. Okay, so let's start the first nature of roots of a quadratic equation. So if b squared minus 4ac is equal to 0, then the roots are real and equal. Kung maaalala natin, nag-evaluate tayo kanina using b squared minus 4ac. Now, by using b squared minus 4ac, we can characterize the roots of the quadratic equation. Okay? So, sabi dito, kung ang ating b squared minus 4ac daw ay mag-equal kay 0, then, ang roots ng quadratic equations are real and equal. So, let's have the example. Okay. we have x squared minus 2x plus 1 is equal to 0. So, first is to identify the values of a, b, and c. So, we have here the value of a as 1, b as negative 2, c is equal to 1. Take note, ang ating b is negative 2 kasi ang ating linear term is negative 2x. Hindi pwedeng mawala yung sign na negative dito. Okay? Kasama siya. Okay? So, d is equal to b squared minus 4ac. D as our discriminant. So, substitute lang natin. So, ang ating b is negative 2. So, negative 2 squared minus 4. Ang ating a as 1. Ayan. At ang ating c na 1 din. So, magiging minus 4 times 1 times 1. Okay. So, evaluate na natin ngayon. So, negative 2 squared, that is equal to positive 4. Correct. Minus 4 times 1. Okay, that is equal to 4. Times 1, that is also equal to 4. So, we have here 4 minus 4. So, 4 minus 4, the discriminant now is equal to 0. So, meaning, the roots of x squared minus 2x plus 1 is equal to 0 are real and equal. So, paano ba nasabing real and equal yon? So, let's find out. Let's check it. Okay, for our checking of x squared minus 2x plus 1 is equal to 0, we can find the roots of this given quadratic equation by factoring, completing the square, or quadratic formula. Alin man sa tatlong yon ang gamitin nyo, iisa lang makakome up natin na sagot. Okay? So, if we use, let's say, factoring. Okay, factor out x squared. So, that will become x and x. So, ano yung factor ni 1 na kapag inad natin ay 2? So, syempre, isa lang naman ang factor ni 1, which is 1 times 1 lang. So, 1 times 1, that is equal to 1. 1 plus 1, that is equal to 2. Now, look at the sign. Okay? The sign of the binomials are the same. Okay? Parehas na negative. Bakit? Kasi, if we have to look at the sign of the last term, kapag ang sign ng last term natin ay positive, ang sign ng binomials natin ay parehas na positive or parehas na negative. Malalaman lang natin kung parehas na negative or positive yan kung ano ang sign ng ating linear term. Since ang sign ng ating linear term ay negative or minus, then ang sign ng ating binomials ay parehas na negative. Okay? So, we have the factors of x squared minus 2x plus 1 is equal to 0 as the quantity x minus 1 times the quantity x minus 1 is equal to 0. So, by using the zero product property, so we have x minus 1 is equal to 0, ano ang makapagpa-0 kay minus 1 na nasa left side? So, by using APE, we need to add both sides by positive 1. Okay? Ang matitira lang sa left side ay x lang. So, negative 1 plus 1, that is equal to 0. So, 0 plus 1, that is equal to positive 1. Okay? Next, the other x minus 1 naman. So, x minus 1 is equal to 0. Again, ang kailangan matira sa left side ng equation is x lang. So, yung minus 1 ito, ano makapagpa-0 sa kanya? Okay, very good. The same dun sa una. Plus 1. So, dahil naglagay tayo ng plus 1 sa left, may plus 1 din sa right. Yun ang ibig sabihin natin ng APE or addition property of equality. So, negative 1 plus 1, magkaiba ng sign yan. Okay, in adding different signs. Okay, so we need to subtract. So, 1 minus 1, magiging 0 na siya. So, x is equal to 0 plus 1, that is equal to positive 1. Okay, so let's move on with the second one. If b squared minus 4ac is greater than 0 and a perfect square, then the roots are real and unequal. So, when we are talking about greater than 0, syempre, lahat na mas mataas kay 0. So, ito yung mga positive numbers. Okay? And, it is also a perfect square. Ano-ano ba yung mga perfect squares natin? We have 1, 4, 9, 16, 25, 36, 49, 64, 81, 100, and so on. So, ang makukuha daw natin na roots doon ay real and unequal. Yung kanina, dahil ang discriminant natin ay equal kay 0, kaya ang nakuha nating roots ay real and equal. Dito naman, dahil greater than 0 ang ating discriminant, and we have a condition that it is a perfect square, then the roots that we will obtain are real and unequal. Okay? Let's have the example. We have here x squared plus 7x plus 10 is equal to 0. So, we need to determine the values of a, b, and c. So, we have here a is 1, b is 7, and c is 10. Okay? So, substitute sa ating b squared minus 4ac. So, ang ating b, that is equal to 7. So, we have here 7 squared. Minus 4, ang ating a na 1, at yung ating c na 10. Okay. So, let's evaluate now. So, 7 squared meaning 7 times 7. So, 7 times 7, that is equal to 49. Okay? Minus 4 times 1. Okay, correct. That's 4 times 10. That is equal to 40. So, we have 49 minus 40. So, 49 minus 40, that is equal to positive 9. And 9 is greater than 0. And 9 is also a perfect square. Okay? Therefore, the roots of x squared plus 7x plus 10 is equal to 0 are real and unequal. So, paano nga ba nasabing real and unequal ang roots niya? So, let's check it. Okay, so to check the roots of x squared plus 7x plus 10 is equal to 0 are real and unequal, so we can use here factoring, completing the square or quadratic formula. So if we use factoring, we have the quantity x plus 5 times the quantity x plus 2 is equal to 0. Bakit? Okay. So, first is to factor out x squared. So, pag finactor out natin si x squared, magiging x and x. Okay? Factor ni 10 na kapag inad natin ay 7. Okay? That is 5 and 2. Kasi 5 times 2, that is 10. 5 plus 2, that is 7. Now, kung makikita nyo, ang sign ng binomials natin dito ay parehas na positive. Bakit ulit? Kasi, ang sign ng last term natin ay positive. So, tatandaan, if the sign of the last term is positive, then the sign of the binomials, na factors niya, ay parehas na positive or parehas na negative. Malalaman lang natin kung parehas na positive yan or parehas na negative yan based doon sa sign ng linear term. Since ang sign ni 7x ay positive, kaya ang sign ng binomials natin dito ay parehas na positive. So, we have the factors of x squared plus 7x plus 10 is equal to 0 of the quantity x plus 5 times the quantity x plus 2 is equal to 0. Now, by using the zero product property, we need to equate each factor to 0. So, let's start with x plus 5. So, x plus 5 is equal to 0. So, we have here, ito. Okay? So, ano ba makapagpa-0 kay 5 na nasa left side? Kailangan na matitira lang is si x na nasa left side. Okay? So, by subtracting both sides by 5. Okay? So, dahil naglagay ka ng minus 5 sa left side ng equation, may minus 5 ka din sa right side ng equation. So, 5 minus 5, that is equal to 0. So, matitira sa left side ng equation is x, And then 0 minus 5, that is equal to negative 5. Okay, so let's move on with x plus 2. So, we have x plus 2 is equal to 0. So, ano ba makapagpa-0 kay 2 na nasa left side ng equation? Okay, correct. That is minus 2. Okay? So, dahil naglagay ka ng minus 2 sa left side ng equation, may minus 2 ka din sa right side ng equation. So, 2 minus 2, that is equal to 0. So, x is equal to 0 minus 2, that is equal to negative 2. So, kung makikita nyo, parehas sila na real numbers. And they are unequal. Okay? Negative 5 is not equal with negative 2. Kaya, ang roots ni x squared plus 7x plus 10 is equal to 0. Ang nature of roots niya ay real and unequal. Okay, next. If b squared minus 4ac is greater than 0 and not a perfect square, then the roots are irrational and unequal. So, okay, sabi dito, greater than 0 pa rin. Okay? Positive numbers pa rin. But not a perfect square. Okay? So, let's have the example. We have x squared minus 6x plus 7 is equal to 0. So, we need to determine the values of a, b, and c. So, we have a is 1, b is negative 6, take note of the sign, and c is equal to 7. So, we have the formula of the discriminant, which is b squared minus 4ac. We only need to substitute the values of a, b, and c to the given formula. So, we have b is negative 6. So, we have here negative 6 squared. Minus 4, ang a na 1, ang c na 7. Okay, so evaluate. So, negative 6 squared, that is equal to positive 36. Okay, minus 4 times 1, that is 4, times 7, that is equal to 28. So, we have 36 minus 28. So, 36 minus 28, the discriminant is equal to 8. So, 8 is greater than 0 and it is not a perfect square. Therefore, the roots of x squared minus 6x plus 7 is equal to 0 are irrational and unequal. So, let's check bakit nga ba irrational and unequal siya. Okay, so we have x squared minus 6x plus 7 is equal to 0. So, sa tingin nyo, kaya ba natin siya isolve using factoring? Factor ni 7 na kapag inad mo daw ay 6, meron ba? Wala. So, pwede natin gamitin dito, pwedeng quadratic formula or completing the square. So, alin man doon sa dalawa na yun ang gamitin nyo, pwede. Okay? So, let's try to use the quadratic formula. So, again, what's the quadratic formula? We have, okay, x is equal to negative b plus minus the square root of b squared minus 4ac all over 2a. Okay? So, identify natin dito ang value ni a, b, at c. So, ano value ni a? Okay, that is 1, b, that's negative 6. Ang c natin is 7. Okay, so substitute. So, negative, ang b natin is negative 6. Kaya meron tayong negative times the quantity of negative 6. Okay? Hindi pwede mawala yung negative sign sa tabi ni 6 dito kasi yun yung value natin ng b. Plus minus the square root of b squared. So, ang b natin is negative 6. So, we have negative 6 squared. Minus 4. Ang a is 1. C is 7 over 2 times ang a is 1. So, evaluate natin ulit. Solve natin. So, negative times negative 6. that will be equal to positive 6 plus minus the square root of negative 6 squared, kaya naging 36 dito. Minus 4 times 1, 4 times 7, okay, that's equal to 28. Kaya square root of 36 minus 28. Over 2 times 1, that is equal to 2. Next, solve natin nasa loob ng radical sign. So, 6 plus minus the square root of 36 minus 28, that is equal to 8 over 2. Since that 8 is not a perfect square, pero pwede natin siyang masimplify. So, ano ba yung factor ni 8 nang isa doon ay perfect square? Sige, isip tayo. Okay, so that is 4 and 2. Correct. So, square root ni 4 times 2. So, 4 times 2, that's 8. 4 is a perfect square. Ano ba square root ni 4? Okay, that is 2. Tama. So, dahil nakuha natin square root ni 4, ilalabas na natin siya sa radical sign. So, we have here x is equal to 6 plus minus the square root of 4, which is 2. Ito yon. And then, ang square root of 2, hindi siya perfect square. Square root of 2 is an irrational number. So, dahil irrational siya pa rin ay nasa loob ng radical sign. So, 6 plus minus 2 times the square root of 2 over 2. Dito, yung given natin na sagot, pwede pa natin siyang masimplify. So, 6, pwede nating i-divide kay 2. So, 6 divided by 2, that is equal to 3. Correct. So, we have 3 plus, ito siya, 3 plus 2 square root of 2. And 6 divided by 2 ulit. So, magiging x is equal to 3 minus 2 square root of 2. Kaya siya tinawag na irrational. Ang tinawag na x squared minus 6x plus 7, ang roots niya ay irrational and unequal. Okay, irrational because meron tayo ditong rational number and they are unequal. Okay? Last one. If b squared minus 4ac is less than 0, then the roots are not real or imaginary. Pag sinabi nating less than 0, these are the negative numbers. Okay? So, wala daw tayong makukuhang roots kung ang ating discriminant ay less than 0. Okay? So, let's have the example. So, we have x squared plus 2x plus 5 is equal to 0. So, determine the values of a, b, and c. So, we have a is 1, b is 2, c is 5. So, substitute to our formula, which is b squared minus 4ac. So, ang b natin is 2. So, we have here 2 squared. Okay? Minus 4. Ang A na 1, ang C na 5. Okay? So, let's evaluate. So, 2 squared, that is equal to 4. Okay, correct. Minus 4 times 1, that is 4, times 5, that is equal to 20. Correct. So, we have 4 minus 20. So, 4 minus 20, the discriminant is equal to negative 16. And negative 16 is less than 0. Therefore, the roots of x squared plus 2x plus 5 are not real or imaginary. So, hindi na natin masosolve siya. Okay? So, ito na yung ating final answer. Kapag ang nakuha nating discriminant is less than 0, the roots are not real or imaginary. Okay, so let's have a short activity. So, solve for the discriminant of the following quadratic equations and determine the nature of the roots. So, number 1. we have x squared plus 5x minus 3 is equal to 0. Again, determine the values of a, b, and c. So we have a is 1, b is 5, c is negative 3. Okay. So substitute to b squared minus 4ac. Okay, so ang b natin is, okay, 5. So we have here 5 squared minus 4 times ang a na 1 times ang c na negative 3. Okay, so let's evaluate now. So what is 5 squared? Okay, that is equal to 25. Next, negative 4 times 1. Okay, that is equal to negative 4 times negative 3. Okay, that is equal to positive 12. Okay, so we have 25 plus 12. So 25 plus 12, the answer is 37. 37 is greater than 0. And is it a perfect square? No. Therefore, the roots of x squared plus 5x minus 3 is equal to 0 are irrational and unequal. Okay, next, number 2. We have x squared minus 9x plus 14 is equal to 0. Again, we have to determine the values of a, b, and c. So, ang a natin is 1, ang b is negative 9, ang c ay 14. Okay? So, ano ang b? Okay, that's negative 9. So, we have here negative 9 squared minus 4 times ang a na 1, ang c na 14. Okay, so evaluate. What is negative 9 squared? That is equal to, okay, positive 81 minus 4 times 1. Okay, that is 4 times 14. Okay, that is 56. So we have 81 minus 56. So the answer is 25, correct. Okay, 25 is greater than 0. And is it a perfect square? Yes. Therefore, the nature of the roots of x squared minus 9x plus 14 is equal to 0 are real and unequal. Okay. Last one. We have x squared plus 6x plus 9 is equal to 0. Okay. Again, determine the values of a, b, and c. So, ang a natin is 1. Okay. Ang b ay 6. Ang c ay 9. Okay. So, substitute. Ano ang b natin? Okay, that is 6. So, we have here 6 squared. Okay, minus 4 times ano ang a? Okay, that is 1. Okay, ano ang c? That is 9. So, we have here minus 4 times 1 times 9. So, evaluate natin ulit. So, 6 squared, that is equal to 36. Correct. So, minus 4 times 1. That is 4 times 9. That is 36. Okay, so 36 minus 36. So 36 minus 36. Okay, the discriminant is equal to 0. So, kung ang discriminant daw ay equal to 0, ano ang nature of the roots? Ni x squared plus 6x plus 9 is equal to 0. Okay, so the roots are real and equal. Okay, so, naintindihan? Okay, so kung may questions or clarifications, huwag mahiyang mag-ask sa inyong mga math teachers. Okay? So, thank you for listening.